You let that in.
What up, people? This is your boy Big Ruck, and we are here with episode 92 of the Daily Smoke today. We got a special guest here, but he goes by the name of Professor Jason. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? This is Professor J, born and raised in H-Town, school in HISD. Drum major, shout out to the Madison Marlins, TSU Tigers.
That's what's up.
Been teaching school for 18 years and got tired of reading books with people that didn't look like me.
I hear that. I hear
Decided
that.
to do something about it.
I hear that.
For real.
Shit, everybody else introduce yourself, man.
I'm Brother Ron from the Daily Smoke. What's up?
Brother Low. Brother Jam.
And the boy Bishop.
And we are the Daily Smoke. Let's
Yes,
get it
indeed.
popping.
Yes,
man. Let's get it
indeed. Yes,
popping.
indeed.
Alright, so what's been going on with everybody? How we doing this week?
Man, everybody
Chillin', man.
good, man.
Chillin'.
Everybody good, man.
Wonderful Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes,
This nice
sir.
cool weather.
Yeah, it feels nice outside.
Finally.
Right.
It's gonna be back in the
Right.
80s on Thursday and Friday.
Look, don't say that,
That's
man.
cool.
I'm trying to hold on to my illusions for as long as I can and pretend like it's wintertime.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
You're propping up against that.
Woke up and it was 80 degrees this morning and I was like, man, this is not December. Okay.
Right.
But, you know, what can you do?
Christmas trees and shorts. They don't even match. You know what I'm saying? They don't even match.
For real.
I wouldn't complain if I saw some Daisy
Man,
Dukes walking down the street.
that's different.
Right? You know, that's a
Right.
whole other subject.
That's different.
Facts.
But that big girl from up north that ain't
Right, who not used to it.
That ain't
Right.
going to her.
Right.
Girls down here, when it gets 70 degrees, they start pulling out the Uggs. Like, ooh, it's cold. It's not cold, baby. It's not cold.
But shit, when it is
thighs.
cold, they still be throwing on half or nothing so they can
Yeah.
show that ass, show that body.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at
Can't
them.
complain.
Oh, I'm not mad at them either, my
Keep
brother.
Yeah.
If you want to freeze, hey, if you want to freeze to please me,
Please. Please to
I'm
please.
all about it.
You might be cold, but my eyeballs warm. Thank you.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
So what's up, man? What's been up with you, man? Everything been good?
Man, everything is good. Just busy, man. Busy.
Yeah.
Busy. The running joke at the school this year is my name is no longer Fletcher. My last name is Fletcher. Can we get you to? Man, it's crazy, man. Fletcher, can we get you to? Can we get you to go do this? Can we get you to go do that? Can we get you to go do this? Can we get you to go break up a fight? Today was, can we get you to go do cafeteria duty? I'm like, who gonna watch my kids?
Right.
I do have a whole classroom.
A whole 24-year-olds.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So
I do not envy the job that you have as a teacher this last 2 years,
Wow.
last year and this year.
Man.
I applaud y'all.
For real. That's real.
Y'all
No,
have-
that's real.
Y'all have put up
That's
with some
real.
serious
Yes.
stuff.
Thank
This-
you.
That's real.
This stuff,
it's a humbling experience.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It's a humbling experience, but it also lets you know what you can do.
mm-hmm.
It lets you know what you can do. You have not lived until you thinking you just gonna have like maybe 5 or 6 kids that's returning to school, and they tell you no, that's not how that works. You gonna have them that's in your classroom, and you gonna have cameras on you, so you can teach the ones at home. And you
Wow.
like, okay, I can deal with that until they come in and be like, no, Fletcher, we need you to, can you turn 45 degrees to the left because they can't really see you on there, and then you need to lift your right leg up. And you got the ones at home, they mad because they think you because they 4.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They mad because they think you spending too much time with the ones in the classroom. The ones in the classroom mad if you stay on the camera too long with the ones that's at home. And I'm like, bruh,
Yo,
it ain't enough numbers on my check to cover all. Absolutely.
That's why we gotta push these books, man. Get this
Yeah.
man some money so he can
Absolutely.
eat.
Bro.
some zeros behind that name.
Yes,
Say
absolutely.
Did you bring some samples of some of the books?
I brought a sample, man.
sample.
Let me
That's
tell you
good.
what, man, God is doing some amazing things. I had samples, and over the past couple of weeks or so, promotion has started picking up. and everything. And people was like, I need your book, like right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a wonderful problem to have.
Right.
That is
Right.
a wonderful problem. But
Right.
this is my second title that I wrote, and just some background information. I never said that there were not any books that did not have black characters. That's a lie.
Yeah.
One of the best-selling, it's been a New York Times bestseller for years now, is The Snowy Day by a cat named Ezra Jack Keats. And the main character is a little black boy.
Okay.
That's what's
There are
up.
not enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there are none in the way of fairy tales that have African American characters front and center.
Yeah.
None. And y'all know a black
I couldn't think of one.
Hansel and Gretel.
Only the one black from Disney, the one black.
Tiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiana.
That's the
Tiana.
only one I know
Yeah, Tiana. But no fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
No fairy tales, and it was somewhat of a fluke how it came about. I wrote my first book, y'all, in a hospital waiting room.
of. Wow.
My aunt was having surgery in my family. Somebody said we rolling up in there,
Right.
Mhm.
and I just sat there kind of thinking the same thoughts that I just described, and I asked myself, what would have happened if Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk had been a little black boy?
Feel you, man.
How would the narrative
Feel
have
you,
changed?
man. I feel you, man.
What
Feel you.
what would the core differences
Yeah.
be? Because, and this is no disrespect to any other culture, but we just know some things are just true about certain cultures.
Yeah.
Right.
When that story has been told, the climax comes when Jack comes back home after he sold the cow, and mom is, oh no, what are we gonna do now? Oh, that's not what I told you to do. That's not the black mama.
No. Not by a long
That
shot.
ain't
right.
the black mama.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
That's
And so in my iteration of the story, my reimagining, my reimaging, the black mama reacts to, that's not what I told you to do.
Yeah.
That's not what I told you to do.
Yeah.
And so it's a hood tale, but there's a prologue in it that explains this is not meant to alienate any culture. This is to let you see how we do things.
Right.
This is to enlighten you,
Give you a glimpse.
give
into-
you a glimpse inside
right.
this is one of my favorite words, y'all. The vicissitudes of life of African American people. I didn't write the book just for black folk.
Right.
I wrote the book for everybody so they could better understand
Right.
black
Black
folk.
folk.
Okay.
Facts.
Yeah, because our Jack didn't get no beans. He had to go get that cow back.
Well, and the fun, you know what's funny, man?
Right.
That book is called Jock. I renamed him JACQUES, and it's so funny because when people buy it, I've had people, this is crazy. I can be out somewhere, and people are like, are you Professor J? Yeah, I am. I got your book, Jacquez.
Beans and the beans.
Man, my daughter just loves that Jacquez. All that. And I tell them all the time, baby, you can call him whatever you want to call him, as long as you bought the book. As long as you bought the book.
Right.
But I renamed him Jock. I changed a few things up in the story. When I wrote the book, y'all remember Sweet Brown was at the height of her popularity. The one that said, ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, yes.
And,
Oh, yes.
there's a
Just for
shout
that.
out to her.
Yes.
In the story, I changed it from Sweet Brown to Sweet Tea.
Okay.
And
that works.
she knows all the neighborhood gossiping and everything. My giant does not die at the end of the story. I thought that was a bit gruesome because it is aimed towards early childhood. What happens to him? You got to buy the book to find
Yeah,
out.
let them buy the book. For that.
Buy the book to find out. But it's a different, just a different way to look at it. A different way to look at things. And that led to, when it was moderately successful, I said, okay, what if Goldilocks had been black? And she was bad.
Oh wow.
And she was really, really bad.
Bitch pudding. That's bitch pudding.
And really, really nosy.
Okay.
And we had a winter storm in 2017. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't have no school in HISD. Hallelujah. And I sat at my computer and I started writing, and I wrote 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 and I laughed and I wrote and I giggled. And this dude here, he know I'm a big kid.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, if I'm laughing at it, my students are gonna laugh at it too. And came up with the concept, came up with the plot twist, came up with the differences that I wanted to be in the narrative. And again, it examines how the story is just different from an African American perspective.
Yeah.
And as I wrote along, I wanted it to be somewhat evident that it took place in Houston.
Okay.
And
All
so
right.
Go-Go doesn't live in Hiram Clark. Shout out. She lives in Hiram Hollow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I like that, Harlem Hollow.
Yeah, Hiram Hollow. And the Bears live in a little on the outskirts of her town in Bearland.
I got you.
Now Pearland with Bearland.
I like that. I like
And
that.
the age-old tug of war that we in our community specifically have been carrying on for years now about whether sugar or salt and pepper goes in grits actually
Salt and pepper.
determines. Thank you.
Sugar
Salt and
is
pepper.
sacrilegious, man.
Salt and
It's-
pepper.
Sugar is just
Salt
an
and pepper.
abomination,
Frontier.
man.
That's for
That actually determines her fate. Y'all, I tried to pack so much into it. I shout out my church, Wheeler Avenue.
That's what's up. Oh, that's a pillar.
Okay. Yeah.
The comedic element in it is it's not Go-Go who goes there. The Bears go to Willie Avenue Baptist Church and Chicken Shack. So anybody
and chicken.
Look, why you playing? That ought to be a real business.
it really should.
They are.
Hey, man,
They are.
remember, anybody try it, he can sue because we got it on video right now.
Absolutely.
It's his idea.
Absolutely.
It's in
Absolutely.
a tangible
He got it
medium.
copyrighted.
Which,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
already copywritten. It's in a
Yeah,
tangible medium.
it's in there, man.
It's in a
It's
tangible
in
medium
there.
right
No
now.
South Park.
It's in there. You know,
Shack.
but anybody who knows Houston landmarks, I mean, everybody knows that Frenchie's has sat right in front of Wheeler for the longest time.
Lord, yes.
And it wasn't until we, when we started expanding and built our new sanctuary and everything, that Wheeler was kind enough to let us have that land so that we could expand. And then we got this beautiful new sanctuary and everything. And I'm grateful that out of 17,000 plus members, that I have a relationship with my pastor.
Yeah.
And when we first started that process of acquiring that property, I was like, Pastor, you know what you need to do? You need to just put Frenchie's in the sanctuary.
Business 101.
Business rules. When people leave out of 9 o'clock service, right in the parking lot, go all the way around, come around,
Right there.
and get your king special on the way out.
Man,
You know?
I'm trying to
And
tell
stuff
you.
like that. And Dr. Cubs tell me all the time, he's like, Jason, you sick, bro. You know, and that sort of thing.
They just underestimated your vision because that would have worked.
Big
Yeah,
time.
right. Yeah,
Big
real.
time.
Yeah.
Look, I'd have started going to church again just for that.
Hey man, I noticed our friend Lavelle, from Dadcast podcast. He said, "Look at my brother, Professor J." So you know Lavelle.
Know him well, man.
Man, that is
we
awesome,
we
man.
found out that we know about 5,000 of the same people.
Well, 5,000 and
And five.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Lavelle, and the funny thing is, we've never met in person.
really.
But have a great deal of respect for each other.
Yeah, man.
He knows my cousin, Sergio Leroy, who is a film director.
Oh, okay.
And Lavelle has done a couple of films with Sergio. I made my feature film debut back in March, doing my first film with Sergio. And a wonderful talent.
Yeah.
Wonderful talent. He is, both of these brothers that I'm speaking of.
Most
And
definitely.
just it's all about, my thing is I have literally prayed throughout this whole process that I just stay humble.
Yeah.
I've made some wonderful, wonderful contacts that have blown my mind, even during the pandemic. Should I say who they are?
Sure, why not?
It's up to you.
This is free radio.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you're only praising and giving good thoughts to people. So
Yeah.
man,
I wouldn't be mad at you.
I still get chill bumps every time I think about it because I have a god sister who's a good friend of Tony Terry,
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Sing.
Damn.
R&B legend Tony
Yeah,
Terry.
most definitely.
And I'm a strong believer in, hey, just ask.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing somebody can say is either no or hell no, or,
Right.
or whatever
That's what I always
they're
say.
gonna say. And I reached out and I said, hey, I think you know my god sister. And he said, yeah, I do. She's mentioned you a couple of times. Are you the author? I said, yes, I am. I said, well, I would be honored if I could send you a copy of my book and just have you look it over and see, what you think of it. He said, I'll go you one better. I have a live podcast that I do on Tuesdays called Tony Terry Tuesdays.
Oh,
Okay.
And I'll break from my singing and everything, and I'll sit down and I'll talk to you about your book. And I'm thinking, okay,
That's pretty
at
cool.
some point he's going to forget, and I'm going to get lost
Right.
in the shift and all of that. And my phone rings one day, it's this Georgia number and all that. Hello? Professor? No, he said, like Monique used to do on the park, because he goes, hey, Professor. Like, who is this playing on my phone? It's like, and it's your big brother, this Tony Terry. I dropped the phone, I'm stuttering, and all of that and everything. And lo and behold, man, he had me on Tony Terry Tuesdays, asked me about the book, asked all of his fans to make the connection and everything.
That's
And
awesome.
huge shout out to, he's become like a big brother.
Yeah.
He'll text me every now and then, the children ain't driving you crazy. Or yeah, they are,
Right.
and that sort of thing. Keith, Jafar, Your Majesty, and Randy Jackson Jr.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Damn.
Which Randy Jackson?
Michael's brother.
Okay.
That's what I seen.
Yeah. Oh, the other Randy Jackson is famous too, so
Yes, he
you
is.
gotta ask.
Yes, he is.
He don't matter.
That one, y'all, that connection. I've talked to you, bro, about throughout the years being a just staunch, ridiculous Michael Jackson fan.
Oh yeah.
Huge Janet Jackson, just all of them,
You're right.
Absolutely.
all of them.
Absolutely.
All of them. And to have these cats be following me and vice versa on Facebook and be like,
cool.
is the book out yet? When you gonna send us a copy?
That's good.
Wow, man.
That's
And I'm like,
beautiful, man.
wait a
That's
minute.
cool.
What?
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. Keith is Michael's first cousin. He still lives in Gary, Indiana. And he, if I'm not mistaken, well, I know for sure that he has his own band. And I think he has a lot to do with them. Their house is a museum now, the one that they grew up in Gary. And we talk periodically, via social media. Your Majesty and Jafar are Jermaine Jackson's youngest sons. And I tell them all the time, and be like, y'all know when I was little, I used to say I was technically the 11th Jackson, because there were actually, and a lot of people don't know this, there were 10 Jackson children. Marlon had a twin who died at birth.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Okay.
there were 10 Jacksons, and so I'd be like, okay, I'm number 11, and that sort of thing. But being able to reach out to people of that magnitude and they actually respond, I don't take that lightly at all, because they're Jacksons,
Right.
and that sort of thing. But my prayer is that through making those connections, that it'll, that the circle would get bigger and bigger and bigger. Obviously I wrote the book to make money.
Right.
Obviously I wrote the book for people to read it. And I've said on several occasions that it is my aspiration and my goal to become the Black Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Dope, man.
I'll tell you right now, I
damn
will
good.
be getting some for my grandson.
Right.
That's gonna be on the Christmas list for sure.
Do that, man. I would. If I say so myself, it's an amazing story. They both are. Again, with all of the shout outs that just reference the culture, y'all.
Yeah.
That are not over the heads of small children. I reached out to, and I'm not going to call this business out, but there's a business in Meyerland that, and I mean, I wasn't really expecting them to dive head first, into it when I asked about it. And pretty much everything, I think once they caught the tone of my voice, they were, well, first we need to make sure this age appropriate. Well, I'm an educator, so I'm telling you it's age appropriate.
Right.
Sometimes, we have stuff by local authors and it just really doesn't move. Well, hey, maybe you don't have the right material.
Right.
Okay, well, we might have to, look into it. I tell you what, get with my people. And it was almost kind of one of those, don't call us, we'll call you kind of things.
Right.
But that's okay.
Right.
That's okay, because you're going to have no's.
Right.
But I done had yeses from the Jacksons, so.
Right. Your no means nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not fazed by too much.
Absolutely, so it is what it is, and you have to go into this thing with. I'm finna shout somebody else out. Y'all remember Shelly Wade?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Forged a friendship with Shelly Wade a few years back. I actually met Shelly in 1998 when they had the premiere of Halloween H2O.
Oh wow!
I won some tickets to Halloween H2O through her show. And fast forwarding back to present day, when my first book came out, I went on Facebook, y'all, and I did this rant about, we don't never support each other, and I wrote this book and for y'all, and y'all ain't nobody behind it, and man, I'm just going, I'm going off on the whole black community. Y'all supposed to buy this book.
The brightest Negro in here. The brightest Negro is going off on the black.
You supposed to buy this, and all
That's
that.
funny.
Shelly literally sent me a message to my inbox that was really like, hey, come here. Hey. So let me tell you something. She said, I've learned this in radio and all the years and Shelly Wade, y'all, is somebody.
Yeah.
Shelly Wade is somebody. Basically what she said was, you need to chill. Nobody owes you anything just because you're Professor J.
Right.
Nobody owes you anything.
Right.
If they buy it, good. If they don't buy it, move around. You ain't got to be, preaching sermons and all that kind of stuff about how we need to do this, that, and thus and so, because at the end of the day, again, nobody owes it to you to buy your book. You do what you're supposed to do. You get out there, you promote it. You do what you're supposed to do. You pray over everything that you do. And that lesson stuck with me. And I can't remember, was that? No, it wasn't last year. It was the year before last, because Shelly's birthday is in December. She had me to bring her a copy of my first book, she was hanging out with some friends, and she was like, hey, come by, and all of that. But I'm greatly appreciative for the wisdom that she imparted, because it has really alleviated a lot of the angst that I would otherwise deal with, because she's right. Nobody owe you nothing.
That's right.
Whether you selling books, T-shirts, providing a service or whatever, nobody. There's nothing in the rule book that says that somebody has to buy your book or they have to support your business or whatever. And while you're doing all of that, you can be trying to figure out better ways to promote it so people will want to do that. But it's still a blessing to even gotten as far as, because y'all, I this ain't what I set out to do.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not what I set out to do. I told you that.
Yeah.
If I had my way, I'd be living in LA. I'd probably have about 10, 12 Grammys on my mantle, a few American Music Awards, several MTV Awards. I pursued music for years. And that just wasn't what God had for me.
Right.
And had a wonderful group. We had a wonderful concept. It was 4 of us. It was 3 guys, 1 girl. But we all took turns singing lead and stuff like that and everything. And I really believe that if we lived in this day and age, where all you got to do is post a video on YouTube and 3 days later you sign in with a major label, that we probably would have been okay.
Yeah.
But this was the mid to late 90s, and everything was about either right place, right time.
That's right.
Or who you know, or as my pastor says, more importantly, who knows you.
Right.
And that sort of thing. But this is what it is. And so I'm taking it and I'm running with it, and got some more stuff coming in the pipeline for 2022, y'all. I'm gonna do some stuff.
That's what's up, man.
So right now you have this Go-Go, and what's the other one?
Go-Go and Jock.
Jock.
And the full title of Go-Go is Go-Go and the Unfortunate Grit Incident.
Yeah.
Because it's really unfortunate what ends up happening to her.
Right.
And the Jock is just Jock? Or?
Jock is just Jock.
Okay.
Yeah, Jock is just Jock. The cover of Jock, you can actually see him climbing with the beanstalk, so you can, pretty much everybody puts 2 and 2 together and like, is this a Jack and the Beanstalk story? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing.
We get these on Amazon, or is that?
They are both available on Amazon. Actually, there's 3, because Jock is available in full color, and it's available as a coloring book as well.
Oh, okay.
That's what I saw. Yeah, that's what I saw. The coloring book.
The funny thing is,
Portuguese, so I couldn't read it.
more adults buy the coloring book than children.
Really?
More adults buy the coloring book. Yeah,
Man,
and I'm
That's
like,
cool.
Not
That's
even
really
joking.
cool.
I love to color.
Yeah,
That's not
me
even
too.
a
That's
joke.
cool.
I
I
do
still
love
love
to
it.
color.
it's
Takes you
relaxing.
out of your-
Yes.
It's
Cool.
very relaxing. And hey,
respects,
I don't care. Whoever buys it. Whoever buys it. I'm not tripping on any of that. What I really want to do, though, I have another friend. Man, I'm doing a lot of shout outs. Dominique Smith. When y'all get a chance, check him out on YouTube. Another film director that I know. He was based in Florida. I can't remember where Dominique moved to. But Dominique has done a reimagining of the Elm Street series.
Oh, really?
And it's fire. It's
Definitely have to check that out.
It's when you see the trailer for it, it's called Return to Elm Street, and it has somewhat of a how the new Candyman has like the racial overtone to it. His has a little bit of that without being too preachy, if you will. I'm a huge horror movie fan, and I get it. I understand about the cultural aesthetics of combining that. But I don't want to be preached to during a horror movie.
Right. That's not what you're there for.
That's not what I'm there for.
Exactly.
I'm there to jump. I'm there to say, Becky, why are you running up the stairs when you should be running out the front door? That's what I go to a horror movie for. And to me, Candyman was just so heavy.
Yeah.
It was,
Exactly
that the message, the horror got lost in the attempt to bring forth a message.
Right.
The same way with Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Hey, love Jamie Lee Curtis, always have, always will.
Could have kept that.
But it was the throwbacks were amazing. The 1978 scenes were wonderful and all that. And I got one of my official T-shirt guy talking about, do you like to color? Well, get you a coloring book, man. But back to my books. Yes, I want there to be a message, but I want it to be a message that, again, I teach 4-year-olds.
Right.
And I want them to be able to understand what's being conveyed to them.
Absolutely.
And I want, it's funny, every year I have a really good friend, another good friend, who works in A-Leaf ISD, and she would sometimes invite me to come and do their career day. And imagine this book that I wrote for pre-K, kinder, first grade, and I got 5th and 6th graders falling out of their chairs laughing at some of it too.
Wow.
So that lets me know,
Yeah.
you know, that
you're doing something
that
right.
something has to be
Right.
right. Something has to be right. So
Even adults would probably read and laugh with it because
Yeah.
they know the story, but it's
I
different. This is a
really
different
hope
story.
so.
This is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is fun.
I really, really, really hope so. So 2022, you guys are gonna get the sadly true tale of Annie and Esraver. Everybody was like, "What?" The sadly true tale of Annie and Esraver, and that's her name, Esraver, and Esraver is actually the word reverse, spelled backwards.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
Why'd you do that, Professor? I wrote the sadly true tale of Annie and Esraver the day George Floyd got killed. And I wrote the whole book
Wow.
that one day. I sat down at my computer and I clenched my fists and I pounded my glass desk, which wasn't really a good idea at the time, but I'm glad I didn't break it. And I cried and I screamed and I tried to make sense of it all.
Yeah.
And once I finally calmed down, I said, there needs to be a story that poses the question, what if? What if? And it asks that question on a level that our children can be able to understand. And the B part of that question is, what if the tables were turned? What if white people were always being harassed by cops? What if white people were just jogging through a neighborhood and get shot by a black person? Just what if? What if? What would that be like? What would that look like? And how can there still be elements in it that are funny? Because there's some comedy in it. There's a serious climactic end to it where the two girls are the ones who actually show the adults, y'all tripping. Y'all are really tripping. And we're going to show y'all the way.
Okay.
That's cool.
It's still kind of hard to talk about because of what led me to write it, but it's a story that our children need right now.
Yeah.
Because that's still going on. Sadly, I don't see any end in sight, which is a whole nother podcast for a whole
We
nother
can
day.
fill up a whole episode with that
With-
conversation.
Don't
Really.
get low started.
with just that. But I just felt like, and it was funny because I called my publisher when I got done with it, and I'm, again, you know this, I'm a crybaby. I'm on the phone and I'm like, it's just not right. Oh, by the way, I wrote a book about it, and she was like, okay, well, you need to calm down. And get yourself together. Go eat some cereal, do something. you know, and all that. Shout out to Rhonda Branch Yerby, my publisher, who just really took me under her wing. And when Jock first came out, y'all, it was hilarious because I did the self-publishing thing through this website that I'm not gonna put them on blast. And y'all, I thought I was really doing something. I thought I've arrived. I'm an author. Put some respect on my name. Man, Rhonda was here doing a book signing of a book that she had written. It was a collaboration with some other women who had gone through some, you know, some just ridiculous situations and scenarios. And I showed her my book afterwards, and I was like, you know, hey, I'm Professor J, the author, and this is my book. I did, you know, what if Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk was black? And she looked and she said, baby, this is cute. But your margins are off. Your fonts don't line up where they should.
She started breaking this down.
Yeah, she broke. Oh man, I was like, literally, she got through talking to me, and I was like, okay. And she said, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. And Reverend Dr. Rhonda Branch Yerby took that book, she read it that night, and she said, oh, you really got something here.
Okay.
She said, I'm gonna help you. And like 3 days later, she was like, okay, this is your Amazon account number, this is your ISBN number, this is your registration with the Library of Congress, this is your this is your this is your that, this is your other, this is your this. You need to have this, you need to have that, you need to have other. But do you have a publicist? And I mean, she just, I'm like, publicist, wait, I'm just a school teacher. Am I supposed to have a publicist?
Like, do I need one?
Yeah, you know, exactly. You know, and all of that, you know, start watching what you say on social media. You can't be cussing for God. You can't be, you know, all that kind of stuff and everything. But I needed that because, I mean, you know, I'm a single man. I'm just, you know, I'm just being me. And I'm from, you know, and I went to Madison. I went to TSU, you know, and I was a, you know, so that whole thing. But I'm really grateful to her for everything that she did because it put me on the path to bring me to where I am now. And like I said, y'all, if y'all, this is nothing. Well, yes, let me not say that. It is something. But I just have so much more planned.
Right.
I have so much more planned.
It's just the beginning, that's all.
It's just the beginning. And
You know how to do it right now.
I know how to do it right.
The right people show the
You're
right
exactly
path.
right. I know how to do it
The
right.
important thing is you had a thought and you took the step and you made it happen. That's the most important step.
Thank you, bro. I
Most
appreciate
definitely.
that.
That's one of the things that so many people nowadays don't do. That's why we here, because
Exactly.
he had an idea, he made it happen, and he brought us on board with him to help him, you know, fulfill that idea. And thankfully for us, it's working out. So we falling right behind you.
Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. There's, you know, again, there's that one. We're gonna do David and Goliath.
That's gonna be cool.
That's gonna be good.
We're gonna do David and Goliath, and I'm really taking my time with that one because of how that story ends.
Yeah.
And I do not take interpretation of scripture lightly
Right.
at all. I want to tell the story, and I want to keep it light, and I want it to be fun. But the truth is,
Right.
the truth is,
Right.
David beheaded Goliath.
Yeah.
Now, for a 4 or 5-year-old, that's a bit much.
I don't know about today.
You know, and cancel culture is real serious.
right.
You know, we just can't believe that you wrote that violent stuff. But the truth is, David beheaded Goliath. So my dilemma has been, and y'all, I can't begin. I don't know how many times I sat down at my computer and I started. I'm like, hey, I need to be writing this story because I can't get the ending the way I want it to be just yet. But this is what I did. I've been fortunate to. I know a lot of pastors. You know, shout out to my own Reverend Marcus Lee Cosby. Love him dearly. From my home church, Reverend Dr. Danny Davis, my godfather, Reverend David Roberts, Pastor John Adolph out in Beaumont, and I've talked to them, and we're gonna figure out how we're gonna do this so that it's still kid friendly.
Yeah.
You know. But David did my head Goliath. You know, that's that. We're gonna do a Hansel and Gretel story.
That's gonna be cool too.
That's gonna have a lot to do with. It's gonna be modern day.
That's gonna be cool.
It's,
Did you see what he said?
It's there's this blended family. You know,
Bell put you up to a challenge.
You know, it's baby mama drama.
Oh my goodness.
You know, and stuff like that. Because y'all know that's what that story really was about.
Yeah.
How Hansel and Gretel's stepmother hated them.
Mm-hmm.
She hated them. So she set them up to go and be enticed by the witch. And lucky for them, Gretel was just really, really smart. Hansel wasn't too on the ball.
No.
But she was able to outsmart the witch and everything. And I got some little twists and stuff that's going, you know, literally, you know, be like, what? You know, and all of that. I sometimes ask God, you know, why, of all the gifts you gave me, why are you making this the one that I'm really, you know, running with? Because at any point in time, and this is not an exaggeration, I will have an idea for like literally from one day to the next. I have an idea for like 4 or 5 different books in my head. Mm-hmm. And I literally have to just be like, stop and just kind of be like, okay, you know, and stuff like that.
You gotta do Stephen King, be the black Stephen King, write a book every day.
Right.
It's thick.
Let me tell you how I
Get 'em all
know
out.
this is so super duper cool. Stephen King is my favorite author of all time.
You know you've been reading the book every week from here for the past 20 years.
Yes, sir.
Right.
You just mentioned Hansel and Gretel and how, you know, basically the story was about how their stepmother
Stepmom.
hated them, right? So let me ask you, as a teacher, right, have you dealt with any situations where there were problems between the child and the step-parent?
I guess where it came.
Fortunately, I have not. What I have dealt with is, and I might as well let's call a spade a spade. I've dealt with parents who don't want to parent.
I feel that.
I've dealt with parents who don't want to parent.
I feel that.
And I've had to sit down with some folk over the past 18 years and say, you do realize that once they got here, it's not about you no more.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand that.
It's not about you.
Right.
Right.
It is not about you. You should have thought about this. You got to think this thing out. Because I do what I do because I love children.
Right.
I do what I do because I'm a big kid. And we almost have, y'all, a symbiotic relationship. I'm getting something from them and they're getting something from me. What I get from them is when I'm able to bring a smile to their face, I'm just grinning myself too. And I'm, you know, you can come in my classroom and I'm rolling around on the carpet with them and everything else. And you got to try to figure out, well,
Who's in charge?
who's in charge? What's really going on?
That's funny you said that because I when I was in high school, I was a teacher's assistant for first graders.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, the teacher would be like, "You sure you want to call him Carlos? Carlos?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm 17 years old. Mr. Alvarez, I'm good." He said, "Are you sure about that?" I said, "Look, man, at some point, I see them little matchboxes over there. I'm gonna be over there playing with them in the matchboxes."
Right.
He laughed. I'm like, "For real, man? I'm gonna be over there playing with these kids. I'm still a kid myself." So yeah. Carlos is cool with me. You know, I just couldn't see it like, come on, man, Mr. Alvarez, like that's my dad.
Right.
So yeah, it's funny you said it because I'm the same. I would have played. I never played with him.
I used to work with YMCA. I was a child care director, but I had from 3rd grade to 5th grade in mixed. I I had to set up all the little stations for them to play in, this and that, and I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
But when it came time when everybody was there, I had to like, okay, here's little Susie. I'm like, hey, we're playing over here, and then here comes Billy, that's a little bit older. I also have to keep my attention on every single one of them, what they're doing and what they're into.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's important to. It's funny. There are so many teachers who they somehow along the way they forget that they're children.
Yeah.
And they like just be going off on these kids, and I'm like, you really need to chill. Now, that's not to say, hey, kids are challenging,
Oh yeah.
and they will challenge you
Oh yes.
if you let them.
Yeah.
Right.
If you let them.
Right.
And I've had people ask me throughout the years, why do they listen to you? They must be scared of you. No, they're not scared of me, and I don't want them to be scared of me. They respect me.
Mm-hmm. It's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference.
Huge difference.
It's a huge difference. One of my best friends, she just logged on to my live, Nicole Nolly. It's the same way with her. They know when she's playing. They know when she's not playing.
Yeah.
They know when I'm playing. They know when I'm not playing. They know when we are walking down the hallway. One thing that I hate is to see children walking down the hallway with hoodies on their heads. You inside the building. Why do you need your hood on your head?
Right.
Here come Professor. And that sort of thing. But going back to what you asked, I have not seen a lot of that, and I'm glad that I haven't.
Yeah.
But again, I have when we do meet the teacher at the beginning of every school year, I say this, and people really cringe sometimes, just depending on what their ideology of it is. I say, listen, it is not my job to discipline your child. It's not my job.
Yeah.
That's your job. It's my job to teach your child. Ain't nobody in here last name Fletcher except mine. That's not my job. And guess what? I'm not going to spend all day, every day, trying to discipline your child. Pre-K in the state of Texas is not mandatory. It's not. I'm going to send a letter to my principal. I'm going to send a letter to my appraiser. I'm going to say XYZ child is not ready for school, and we'll see you next year. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not. Period. Point blank. However, the flip side of that is I also let them know from 7:30 to 3 o'clock, they mine. I can do whatever I want to do to them. You don't like it? It's 3 other pre-K classes on this hallway. And why? If a fire break out, you're going to want me to act like they mine. Mm-hmm. If an active shooter come in here, you going to want me to act like they mine. Mm-hmm. Why can't I act like they mine when they acting a fool?
Mm-hmm.
That's a valid question.
Yeah.
And that's how you get them to respect you.
I'm not going to stop in the middle of a lesson and say, he ain't listening. First of all, most of the time, look at me. I'm a big dude. Say, look at it. Okay, Professor. I don't, no. Have there been challenges? Of course there have. Do I sometimes get upset with the system? I stay mad with the system. Mm-hmm. But that's just because education has just changed so much, and sometimes I find myself asking the question, were things so bad when we were off for all of June and all of July and all of August, and we didn't go back until the day after Labor Day? Mm-hmm. Were things so bad when every time you turned around, you weren't testing these children? Mm-hmm. You got a snapshot, and then you got the practice test, and then you got the practice before you take the practice, and then you got the star. And just today, our principal was telling us that STAR is changing, and it's almost like you got to have a computer literacy course before you can even navigate through the test and all that. They test these children to death, and it doesn't prove anything.
At
It
all.
doesn't prove
I say it's to
anything.
justify that you guys are teaching them or not.
You
That's
know.
it. And if you are, you are. If you're not, they'll know, and then they cover that up a different way.
Right.
So that they can continue to get funding. So, hey, look, the teachers are doing their job. You know what? Forget about what they're doing and teach my child, okay? Teach my child. I don't care. I'll know if he's teaching my kid or not, because when she comes home and talks to me about her class, and I know the hell this dude talking about. I'm going to school. I don't care. Test him later on your own, you know, but you don't test him through my child. You know, that's how I say. Because, them tests to me are bullshit. I'm like, why do you even do these? This make no sense to me.
It's just like you said. At the end of the day, what does it really prove?
Right.
And then I asked this question: was it all so bad when I know just before I came through elementary school, they used to have what was called RWS, and RWS was reading, writing, and spelling, and the teachers actually taught.
Right.
That's true.
Reading, writing,
Right.
and spelling,
That's true.
They don't
which
teach
are the
kids-
components
Really?
of literacy.
Right.
They don't even teach kids how to write in cursive anymore.
But that's
No,
what we talked about on
they
our
don't.
show.
Oh, yeah.
How-
They don't.
Writing's
But
about to
see,
disappear.
this is why we have people who cannot decipher 2, 2, and 2. There, and there. We got folks that can't even do or and R. O-R and A-R-E.
Your, and your.
Right.
We got people out here saying, won't he do it? W-A-N-T. No, he won't, because you stupid.
Right. He bet not.
My God is not the author of chaos, but of peace. I mean, come on. Come on.
I saw somebody typed out the other day. They was trying to say bon appetit, but they typed bon app the teat. I was like, what?
And see, this is why on my t-shirts, my Professor J, the author t-shirts, you see a picture of me like this. I don't understand a great many things about why education is going in the direction that it's going in. I am extremely grateful that I am in pre-K, and people have asked me many, many times, hey, with your influence, you can really work with them third graders. Nope. Nope. Well, why don't you want to do it? I said, well, think about it. Before I saw my first black male teacher, I was in the 6th grade.
Wow.
That was pre-K, that was kindergarten, and that was 1st through 6th. So that was 8 years before I saw a black man taking command of the classroom. You have an opportunity now to see an intelligent, educated, articulate black man your very first year in school. And there's research that proves, you don't believe me, Google it. That a child's experience in the pre-K classroom can make or break how they feel about school for the rest
Of their lives.
Wow. Let me tell you how I know that's true. Me and my pre-K teacher, Marilyn Martin, are friends on Facebook right now.
Wow.
And she just gets tickled pink whenever I start going on Facebook talking about my exploits in the classroom and stuff like that. Cute little white lady who's about yay tall and all that, still calls me Jace to this very day when she does it from home and walks in and that sort of thing. But there's a lot of challenges, y'all. There's a lot of challenges, all the way down to even people are wondering, why is my kid talking about how hungry they are when they come home? Kids don't want to eat that stuff they serve in school today.
Boy, that's a conversation there too.
And I really, really, really want to go into it, but you should not, don't say disparaging things about where you work, and stuff like that.
I do all the time.
Yes, you do.
these
So
children,
does he. Nah, he be talking about the people he got to do.
they don't want to eat that stuff, man. It doesn't look appetizing, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I do know that we were like 2 weeks in, and one of my parents sent me a text. We have an app that we use where they can text me, and she's like, "Why is he saying he's hungry every day?" And I was like, "Cause you need to pack him a lunch." And she was like, "Well, why do you want me to pack him a lunch?" I said, "I see the cafeteria food every day. Pack him a lunch.
Yeah.
Pack him a lunch. You know." But anyway, guys.
That's why they give it away free.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I like them little pizzas, man.
Back when we were in school, the rectangular pizza, man, that used to hit.
Right.
I remember when we used to get soup. When we would go through the lines, you had your choice of the vegetable soup or the chicken soup. We had the good cookies in the little white bags, and all that kind of stuff and everything. You know what? I'm gonna write a book called "This Is How School Used to Be." This is how school used to be. But yeah, man, lots and lots of things coming in 2022. Starting with, I was not able to promote that book because I released it in November of 2020. And we were at the height of the pandemic. So my first book signing is going to be in January at Half Price Books in Pearland. And just really, really going to hit the ground running to promote.
Now, on that day, you said you're going to have these 2 books. Will you have the other 2, or those are still?
Those are still, those are still on the assembly line.
So right now, Gogo
and Jock.
And Jacob.
Yeah.
Gogo and Jaquez.
Yeah, Gogo and Jaquez.
I'm Spanish, so it's Jaquez.
Jaquez. Right.
Yeah,
You know, and all that. So yeah, we're gonna promote heavily, and hope for the best, pray for the best, and everything. If y'all don't remember anything that I've said tonight, is just know that I consider myself to be really, really blessed. Because again, just the minute, I literally said, "This is my big brother, y'all." I said, "I ain't done no promotion." He said, "Why don't you just come be on my podcast?"
Right.
You know,
Hey, man.
people don't owe you nothing, said Shelly Wade. You know, and that's really true. My grandmother used to say, "Nobody has to be nice to you." And that's really, really true. Nobody has to be nice to you. So I'm going to continue to write books. I'm going to continue to pray that people are nice enough to me to buy them. And I'm going to pray that this recurring dream, and then I'm going to shut up because I know I'm telling y'all heads.
No, you making sense, man. I'm learning. I'm in school.
I have a recurring dream. I have this dream about once every 3 months that I have met Beyonce Knowles Carter. And she says to me, "I bought my books for Sir and Rumi." Y'all, I'm not making this up. "I bought your books for Sir and Rumi, the twins, and they love your stories. I want to set up a huge book signing event for you in Times Square." And the dream always ends. It never deviates. It never deviates. At the end of the dream, there's a table set up in front of some huge store. I've never been to New York before, so I really don't know if there's a Barnes & Noble in Times Square, but in the dream, there is.
Okay.
And as I'm getting ready to go up the stairs, and there's kids, just like a sea of kids everywhere. And I'm like, come on, come with me. And she says, "No, this is not about Beyonce. This is about Professor J. Go sign your books." And I wake up.
Wow.
So from now on, I'm gonna need you, like when you meet her, you met her while we were interviewing on the Daily Smoke. You came on to promote your books, and that's what she told you. Hey, man.
So Beyonce, if you watching,
Right.
we got
Remember
you.
this dream.
H-Town, stand up.
And that's that, and it, like I said, it never deviates. It's always that same context to it and everything. Is that ever gonna happen? I don't know.
It just might though.
Speak
It just
speak it
might.
into existence, man.
Definitely.
It just might.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Yeah, most
And you know what? It may not be her, but it could be somebody. Else. Just
It could be.
Right.
It could be.
Yeah.
You know, certainly with those Jackson boys, you know, don't think that I haven't said at some point in time.
Yeah,
Y'all don't think. Well, you know, I'm like, you know, hey, Janet's son is 5 now. And I did write the book for pre-K kinder. If y'all want to, I don't need her address. I don't need her phone number. Just send her one of them books.
right. Give a copy.
You know, and that sort of thing. But again, you guys, thank you for having me on to share my vision. Hopefully I can come back one day and we can talk about the tangible literacy initiative that I'm trying to do. Me and a friend of mine named James Guillory, who graduated from Madison with me, and he's running for state legislature. We're going to team up. We need to go back to making these kids read actual books.
Yes.
Not scrolling on a tablet, not looking on a Kindle. They need to learn directionality, that we read from left to right and top to bottom. They need to know the front cover, the back cover, the spine. They need to know the author, the illustrator, the publisher, the narrator. They need to know that because they don't.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard fight.
They don't.
It's gonna be a hard fight because I'm saying they're gonna writing is disappearing. It's all about typing. You're never gonna know how to write no more.
Yeah.
You're gonna type it out. So what you're saying there, to take this away from them, ooh, that's gonna be a hard fight.
It's a hard fight.
Yeah.
It's hard to get people to read books, period.
Right. Plus
Because
it's cheaper
grown folks
to have all
don't
these
read.
books there.
Yeah.
That's true. They're always
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard fight.
And see, and that's one of the things that I pushed in my house big time because I'm a reader.
Right.
You know, I've always been a reader, and because of me reading, now my kids read. You know, and it's interesting to me that when my friends see how my kids love books, they're like, "Wow, how'd you get your kids to read?" By reading.
My wife's the same way. Amy loves books, and she's always reading to the kids. So,
And
matter of fact, she'd probably get these because she couldn't be on today to watch, but I'll tell her about them. So
Yeah.
this is good.
Well, I'm
stories.
definitely going to provide y'all with links and everything,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody who's
Absolutely.
watching, if there's a way we can put those in there and everything. Like I said, everything is available on Amazon.
And next year when you do the 2, you come back and we'll push these 2 too.
Absolutely.
yeah,
And listen, anybody out there, if y'all have, we're about to shut down shortly. But if y'all have any questions, the phone number's on the screen. Give us a call if y'all want to ask Professor J any questions before he leaves. Feel free.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
we'll definitely make a few more minutes for that.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Man, we appreciate you for coming through, sharing everything with us, man.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate
Most
y'all for having
definitely,
me. I
man.
really appreciate it.
And I also wanted to say, man, I appreciate one of the things you said was about a child's first impression when they come into school and they see an intelligent, articulate black man teaching, and that helps them feel better about themselves.
It does.
Especially if they're
It
like
does.
that
It
color.
does.
And about school, period. You know what I'm saying?
Because-
And I think that's a really noble reason to be a teacher, man.
Thank you, man. I
And the
appreciate
reason
that.
you stayed at the
That level.
the 4-year-olds
Absolutely.
instead of.
Absolutely.
I think that was
Makes a lot
really
of sense.
dope.
I mean, for me, for years,
Yeah.
You made me
the white
realize
ladies-
I didn't see a male black teacher until
Right.
high school.
Right.
See?
I don't
Right.
remember a male
See?
teacher other than the gym teacher.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Right.
All ladies
right,
or
yeah.
ladies. It was, and then the gym teacher or the principal was the men.
I got to hurry up and tell y'all this story. When I was at TSU getting my teaching credentials, I was the only man in my classes, in my 300 and 400 level classes. And they was all, you're just gonna be the gym teacher anyway, girl. You know how to do it. I was like, nope. I heard what you said, and no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing early childhood education. And I'm doing early childhood literacy. And do you know that out of my graduating class, the vast majority of the ladies that graduated with me could not pass their Texas teacher exam. They couldn't pass their content. They couldn't pass their PPR, and I ended up having to go back and tutor them.
Wow.
And now all
They
the
should have been the
teachers.
gym teachers.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They didn't
Right. Y'all should have been playing volleyball.
That's funny.
That sort of
Yeah,
thing.
go-go and the unfortunate
I got one
incident.
question for you, Professor.
That's funny.
First and foremost, I got to tell you, man, like the mere fact you're reinterpreting archetypes is absolutely vital.
Thank you.
I think that is absolutely vital.
Thank you.
And I think for someone to put as much energy towards not only understanding how important that is in shaping the child's mind, but when you start giving them alternative characters, but you're keeping the same fundamental truth going, you get to start changing realities. You understand?
Right.
So I think what you do is of vital importance. My only question to you is, man, like, how are you able to abandon like your adult tendencies and to really get into the mind of a child and see the world as a child to remain so relative?
Because I always tell my children, don't say because I
I'm a big
am
ass
a
kid.
big kid.
Yeah.
I'm a big kid.
Yeah.
One of the main draws to Michael Jackson for me was that my mother suffered a severe debilitating stroke when I was only 7. And that led to couldn't always go outside and play with the rest of the kids. Could I sometimes? Yes. I'm not saying that I did not have any childhood experiences. That's a lie. But they were fewer than most of the other kids who lived in my neighborhood and stuff like that. And I took it on myself. My mother spent 23 years in a wheelchair, never complained, never asked why. She was like, okay, this is it. Roll with it, literally and figuratively.
Let's go.
Let's go. I was in the kitchen learning how to cook when I was 8 and that sort of thing. And so because I missed out on some of those experiences, I still relive them now. I'm still waiting on my Gucci Seville.
Oh yeah.
I was an avid Hot Wheels collector, and I don't know if y'all remember this, but when the Slantback Seville first came out, Cadillac teamed up with Gucci, and they did a Gucci Seville, a Gucci Slantback. And
I don't remember that. What?
Neiman Marcus has done, I think they pressed, I think they said like 10,000 Hot Wheels Gucci Sevilles.
Wow.
Yeah, and I want one. But the way that I do it is, it's not hard.
Okay.
Because, yes, I'm 47 years old, but I still long for a Saturday morning cartoon.
I feel it.
And
Yes, sir.
Me TV has brought them back, y'all.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Me TV is one of the regular TV channels, and I'm up on Saturday morning.
I've never heard of Me TV, so I need
Me
to know.
TV. Well, see, you probably got Direct TV and all 50,000 channels and all
Me
that. For
TV?
those of us,
Right, they got all the
can't
old
remember.
cartoons. I need to know what they
they do a Saturday morning and they do a Sunday morning. They show Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and it's the good stuff, y'all.
So they got all of the
it's
Saturday
Bugs
morning
Bunny,
cartoons.
it's the Looney Tunes,
Some of that I actually have recorded to my DVR.
Oh, yeah?
This book here, man, you can have this translated to a lot of different cultures and languages and have the title be something different, and it just flows right along with what their perspective. Like, it could be Yaya and their fortunate taco incident. And I'm not being funny. I'm just
I know.
He's Hispanic, so it's not racist.
But it could also be something like,
He's
for
racist,
Arabs.
but
where,
that wasn't racist.
Pero es verdad porque tengo estudiantes hispánicos en mi clase y una padre pregúntame cuándo va a escribir un libro para niños hispánicos.
Así es. Yes.
I had a parent who asked me, when are you going to do a book for
You
Hispanic
could do the
kids?
same exact book, just with the different names and titles.
Speaking about that,
Yeah.
Lavelle said, I can't pass this up.
Me
He said, to
I
you,
saw that.
can we
It's a
get some
challenge.
cartoons about the Daily Smoke characters?
My answer to that is, I don't know if my illustrator Abe Powell is watching, but oh man, y'all, I
We can
forgot
get the
to shout out.
illustrated. You just put the words.
Right,
And
right.
Abraham Powell is in the little town of Wetumpka, Alabama.
Wetumpka.
I think they have one red light and it blinks. Enormous talent, and I tell this story every time when I talk about my illustrator. I fired Abe like 5 times before we released that book. And I fired him because I told him, this is not your full potential, bro. And I didn't even know what his potential was because I had never worked with him before, but just something told me he can do more than this. I could see something about him.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not publishing that. No. And I have like literally like dude has like got off the phone with me in tears because I mean when it comes to this, I'm about business.
Right.
And I have said many times that, again, reference to Michael Jackson, if Jacques was my off the wall, then Go-Go had to be my Thriller.
That's what's up.
And I'm not gonna stop until it is.
Right.
You know. And so keeping that ideology in mind, I wanted it to be special. And I could not release it until I had that gut feeling that kept me up in the middle of the night and was like, okay, go press send.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, just me looking through it, coming through it, I can see by just looking at it itself with the illustration and some of the words, my daughter's gonna love this book.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Exactly.
I want parents to read it to their kids and trying to figure out who's laughing the hardest.
Right.
That's what I want. I want people to walk away from it thinking, wow, he really did that.
Right.
And I didn't even tell you. Well, I touched on it. There's 2 endings to Go-Go. And so when you read it, you can go back and forth and be like, okay, today this is how it's going to end, you know. Today. And that's just a
pretty
throwback
cool,
to
man.
when I was in middle school, we used to have these books called Which Way books.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much just a throwback to that. And I include in my works some stuff that I really liked when I was a kid and things like that. And so that's just where it comes from. You know, that, and to continue to, you know, answer your question, it's just because I'm a big kid.
Right.
It's just because I'm a big kid. They love video games. I can do cafeteria duty in the cafeteria at my school, and they're like, Professor, you got a Nintendo Switch? Yep. What games you got? All of them. You got a PS5? Yep. How'd you get it? I literally had to go in the cafeteria and do a workshop on how to secure your PS5.
That's education.
I need to sign up for that class.
If you're gonna be on that, let me show you how to use it right.
You know, that quest in and of itself is fun. You know, just, you know, did I get it this time? You know, oh man, you know, I missed it, you know. And when I did get mine, it was the last day before spring break this year. And I'm running up and down the hall, hollering and screaming, and they looking like, what's wrong with Fletcher? Oh, he must have got his PS5.
Too bad it wasn't. He must have got #1 on the bestsellers list.
Right?
Not yet, but that's coming.
When that happens, they ain't gonna be able to contain it.
Right.
You know,
But that's the goal.
That's the
you
goal.
know, and beyond.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the goal. That's the goal.
That's why I tell friends when I start business and when they start, man, I'm so tired. I don't want to hear that shit. Well, you got into it for, right? To go as far as you want. So if you're complaining to me because you're working too hard, you're doing your job, man. Your company's getting better and better, so keep doing it.
Yeah.
You want to publicize the name of your books again and how anyone watching may be able to get in touch with you as we sign off?
Absolutely. The books are Jacques, Jacques, and then there's also Go-Go and the Unfortunate Grit Incident. If you have the Amazon app on your phone, be you team iOS or if you're team Android, just go into the search for Professor J, just the letter J, not J-A-Y. And you can do, spell out either one of those titles and it'll just automatically come up. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Professor J, the author. Professor, the letter J, the author. My Facebook is... Here's my Facebook.
Isn't it right there? It was right on there.
Is that it? It's PROF Jason Fletcher.
We'll get all these and put them in
That's a shame because I'm always on Facebook and I can't remember it.
But and following you on those platforms, we'll know when the other 2 books are coming out.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Lavelle says, send a copy to
Absolutely.
Michelle Obama.
That's very cool.
Whoa,
Oh, yeah.
whoa, she probably
Definitely.
will take it too.
Definitely.
Right, most definitely.
Definitely. My high school best friend just logged in, Nate Davis, amazing children's author himself.
Okay.
Oh, man.
He has a series of books, Peanut Butter and Jam,
Okay.
and just a very, very gifted author. Shout out to him. You know what? He gonna be mad because I didn't use his pen name. The Natrix.
Natrix can
is,
come on here
yeah.
and talk about his
Absolutely.
books.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
More than
man,
welcome.
and you're more than
Yeah.
welcome to come on the
Right.
Daily Smoke, man, and talk about your books, man. Matter of fact, what you were talking about earlier that you wanted to come back and speak on, I think that's an excellent topic, man. So we got to definitely schedule that, man. You could come there and we could do all of that, man.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
For sure.
Most definitely. So I know we didn't get a chance to actually tackle the
Thank you for coming in,
topic,
brother. Thank you
but
so much.
Yes.
this filled up all of the time, and it was
digging that.
beautiful. So
Thank you so much.
that just gives us another day where we don't have to choose the topic, so we know what we
know what
got.
to talk
Right?
about next time.
So again, man, we really appreciate you for being here, man.
Thank you. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
you
sharing
having
all
us.
the information, all the stories, having us laughing and everything, man. And we will do whatever we can to help support you and your books, man.
Thank
Most
you.
definitely.
I'm humbled and
Most
appreciative. Humbled and
Most
appreciative.
definitely.
Amen.
And please listen, everybody
Thank
out
you.
there. This is the Daily Smoke. We are here 7 p.m. every Monday and every Wednesday. What we need y'all to do is go on, hit that like, share, and please subscribe. Please subscribe.
Get other
All
people
right.
to subscribe.
Most definitely. And get your friends to subscribe and your family to subscribe. Get everybody to check us out, man. And we got 92 other episodes besides this one for y'all to go back and watch. So y'all hit us up. I'm your boy Big Ruck.
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Los.
Brother Jam.
And hold up, before we go, I want to make sure to shout out Miss Missy Garcia.
Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
Most definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mr.
Most definitely.
Miss Garcia. We
David
love you.
Galloway.
We love
much
you.
love, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And Professor Jason,
Yes,
anything
sir.
you want to say before we go out?
Just another shout out to all my author friends on my live tonight. Damon Galloway, who also pushed me.
Most definitely.
Get your book published. I'm gonna leave by saying this to my family. Y'all know my life would suck without you. That's just the truth to face and deal with. I have the most supportive aunties and uncles at 2 aunties at 81 and 95, and an uncle who's 84. Who, when my parents passed away, finished putting my black wiggle through school. So I would be absolutely nothing without them. And all my cousins who are my very best friends and all that. So shout out to you guys. Love you much. And again, my life would suck without you.
Hey, ditto for my family, man. And ditto for these
all of
brothers
our
around the
family.
table. And all of us, man. So
Yes.
we are the Daily Smoke. And Bobby didn't get to say his name, but Brother Bobby is back there behind the cameras
Brother
as
Bishop.
always, holding it down. And we are out. One love, the Daily Smoke, man.
Peace.
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 Weed time.
Right?